You took a picture. You were trying to go live?
Or it's not angled right.
I'll just scoot on in.
This can't. Can't the people.
Hey,
Welcome
everybody.
back, welcome back, welcome back.
Oh my goodness.
You're welcome.
And the Grammy for Best Dramatic Performance on a Couch or Living Room
Really,
goes to...
Williams, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. I've been thinking about this.
I can
What's
barely
that?
see Gary in the IG frame. All
Oh,
right.
okay. I've been thinking about this topic for like,
Have you?
yeah, 24 hours. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You must have a lot to say.
I have a big opinion, probably.
Okay.
I do.
Well, before we get your opinion,
Let's tell them what we're talking about.
let's tell them what the topic is.
Yeah.
We are talking about fuck boys at 50. Now, it's probably not too many people on this earth that have not heard not too many people on this earth that are our age
They haven't heard.
that haven't heard that term before. But let me just define it for you, okay? I had to Google it just so that we were all clear and on the same page. So this is dictionary.com. It's an urban term. It's contemptible, but it is out here. And it is basically a seductive man who's immature, entitled, and untrustworthy, characterized by having self-serving and disrespectful ways, avoiding commitment, emotionally unavailable, lacks accountability, uses deception and manipulation, and that's it in a nutshell. So of course there's more to it, but that's it in a nutshell. So fuck boys at 50. Old phenomenon, new terminology. What y'all think?
If you like go back historically, like in our past, a fuck boy kind of had a type, right? They kind of were good looking, probably on the popular side, able to get a lot of women. People sought after him, right? Today, at 50, I think the prerequisites have just gone out the window, first of all. So anybody could be a fuckboy. The nerd could be a fuckboy. The dude who has never had a girlfriend, a wife, or anything could be a fuckboy. The goofball could be a fuckboy. I mean, the annoying person, oh, you're my queen. That dude could be a fuckboy. So we don't even know what the face of a fuckboy looks like, right?
True.
And the problem,
He's no longer a pretty boy.
he's no longer.
No longer that.
He never probably was, right?
They could be gremlins.
They could be that, right? Furry. But listen, women have made it possible for anybody to be a fuckboy.
Okay.
We've done this.
Okay.
We've done this.
We created the fuck boys.
We have created the fuckboys. And I'm not going to say I did it or you did it, but there's a certain population of women who will accept any type of man, a crumb of a man, somebody else's man. It doesn't matter. They just want a man. And so that right there has created this whole thing for the person who never thought, he never even knew what a fuckboy was because it pertained to him, right? Now he's like, shit, I could be a fuckboy. I'm a fuckboy. And he could be married and still be a fuckboy. He could have a whole woman and be a fuckboy.
That's very true.
And a relationship by day and a pimp by night. Just ridiculousness. So, yeah. I'm going to leave it there for now. There you go.
You said a lot, and I totally agree, because back in the day, so like I said, this is an old phenomenon, new terminology, which often happens, just like fashion comes back in style, tomfoolery comes back in style, like it doesn't leave, so we just have new names for it.
Right.
And when we were growing up, the pretty boys were the fuck boys, because everybody wanted that Al B. Sure looking, El DeBarge type. That was
Light skinned brothers, right? Back in the
light-skinned.
day.
Y'all.
Gary's like, who's light skinned?
He's like, who?
I'm listening at this point.
So that was like what was in when I at 58 was in grade school. So and as time has evolved, then the Chocolate Brothers, and I'm not saying that he is one, but Idris Elba type. Like everybody wanted, like, oh, that he is beautiful.
Morris
I bet
Chestnut.
He must have right. He must have a lot of women. And so, and whether they do or don't is really not the point. I'm not saying these names because I think that they are fuckboys. I'm just saying that stereotypically, you are correct in that the beautiful women are the fuckboys. But now, and it is true that we may have created these monsters because
As a
The
gender
species.
has
The species.
a gender.
The gender.
we are
Okay.
a gender. We're not a species. I know you keep
Narrow
saying
it down,
that. I know
right?
you keep calling us a species, but we probably have contributed to some of that tomfoolery because just treating men who are not worthy of king treatment. Like we've talked about the royal treatment, so everybody's not deserving of that, and some of these women have just acquiesced to so many
For
gremlins that now they're out here thinking that they're the shit, and they are so not.
Like Waiting to Exhale. Wasn't that the movie where Sunshine, he had the nerd, frumpalumpy
Are you
boyfriend?
just gonna put all the black movies in one category? Did you say
Wendell Pierce.
Sunshine?
Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Pierce. Her name was.
Oh, so you've just added her name from Harlem Nights into because Layla Rashawn.
She wasn't Sunshine.
No,
And
boo, that
Yeah.
is Harlem Nights.
yeah, same girl. But yeah.
Layla Roshan was dating
Frumpalump and.
Wendell Pierce.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Oh, good. You remember the name.
And
He's
yeah.
a tremendous actor.
He decided, I'm a fuckboy now. Right. Like for real. You
Yeah.
can't even give a man this much of attention without distorting
Yeah.
his image of himself and changing his whole, value system. It's just terrible. But Gary, what's your take on this?
I mean, there's a lot of pent up hostility from that population of people who, weren't that popular or that desirous, if you will, in their youth. So they get to a point and everybody is waiting on their turn. Everybody is, peeking around the curtain. Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? And I mean, I'm not advocating the behavior, but I'm saying that there's definitely a reason that, people, when given that opportunity, I mean, they 20, 30 years in the game at that point. So it's like, man, y'all made me wait. Now it's my turn, and
Okay.
I'm going to act like that.
So now they've gone. They feel like the pretty person. They feel
Desired.
right.
I don't know that I can't speak to that part of it. I can't.
That's what you're describing, like a.
That, I
person
mean, I'm
finally
describing
feels
the
like-
behavior, but I can't co-sign it that's what they're feeling or experiencing. What I'm saying is that anybody, when given the opportunity, I mean, somebody that's getting bullied, that first chance that they get to knock that person in the jaw, they're gonna do it.
Or anybody, apparently.
Yeah.
In this context. It doesn't even have to be the person.
But I mean, the person that's bullied sometimes goes and bullies other people.
Right.
So let me ask you this: do you think that sometimes fuckboy mentalities and behaviors are created because that man was hurt in a different relationship? I know that's not what you meant by bullying, but I'm just asking: do you think that that can be?
I think that there are different causes. I think a lot of it is that, especially when we talk about that segment of the population that wasn't that popular, that wasn't getting action like that. I would venture to say that, yes, I think that there are a lot of times where
They could have
they're
been
acting
jaded,
out,
yeah.
and they are, they're taking a victory lap, if you will.
Yeah.
So I mean, when we speak to that, but I mean, the phenomenon, that's just one segment of the population. There's a lot of people at 50, you should be going, your crescendo should be down, not up. You shouldn't be like, I'm getting notches at this point. Your notch count should be
They
pretty
try to
well
buy
intact.
bigger for their bigger bellies to put some notches on it, which is just ridiculous to me. I mean, for real. Honestly, at this age, you should be thinking about, where's my plot gonna be? Do I want a funeral or do I want to be cremated? You should be
Where's my plot gonna be?
not,
But-
you know,
But
how many notches.
How many people I'm gonna knock down this week?
I'm not going to co-sign, the funeral part of it. But what I
Your
will say,
priorities are mixed up. Is my point.
and that's the part that I will say, and I will say that, when you get to be this age, 50 plus, whatever that is, what you want and what you're looking for should be different.
Totally agree.
There
That's
should
all
be a part of it where, there should be this cold realization that I'm not going to get to do everything.
Right.
I'm going to have to really be choices at this point because I want them to mean something because I know I don't have chances and time to mess this up.
Right.
And I want to make sure that, my next move is, my best move if possible.
Right. And I don't want to die alone. I mean, at what point do men, I don't know. I seem in my mind, and it may not be necessarily correct, but in my mind, women are more like geared toward relationships. Now, certainly, that's not all. I'm not putting a blanket statement out there because there's some women who are just like, you know what, I make money. I'm
I need you from 8:30
right
to
and then you
9:37.
get up and leave.
You got
And then you gotta go. So, but I think women are more communicative and they're more geared to relationships. And I think, at what point do men just say, you know what, my whole is so down?
I don't know that we ever have the realization that, man, what I'm doing to the population or to the community. I think it's more of a situation where you look at your own experience. And in your experience, you don't say that, I'm going to stop blessing everybody, but you say that, man, I want my blessings to be more. So in order to do that, I have to put down the machine gun and pick up the shotgun. I need to narrow my focus. And at least, I can say that for me. It got to a point where it was like, I could do all of those things, but I'm not going to get a chance to do everything. Some stuff that I missed, it's okay. And it's not a situation where you're trying to run around and do all of these things. And the funny thing, that I've been having this conversation lately is that a lot of people thought I did a lot of things that I actually didn't do.
Oh, I understand.
And
But you were the popular guy. You were the handsome guy. You were the fraternity guy. You were that guy. So yeah, you probably got. Oh, I know he did that before. Oh, he probably did that with her. You probably just were in the mix of all that kind of conversation. So,
and I mean, if it were just that, that would be fair. But it was more to it. I mean, it got to the point where anytime they saw me talking to anybody, if I went, hey, Kim, let's go have coffee.
Well, that's because you're an attractive guy. Women, we get that too.
I mean, I get that part.
It's negative for us, though.
But it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I see the other side of that. I see the person that wasn't even getting that adulation, and then they get a chance to do something, and it's like, man, I'm taking it and give me all it. Come here, come here, girl. Yeah.
I want to just peel back a couple of layers with the psychology. We kind of touched on it a little bit because you asked him why. And I kind of just think that men, if I shoot my shot at you, you could be in a relationship. I feel like, and I'm not really meaning you, I mean
the species.
Right, the species. The gender. If I shoot my shot at you, I'm shooting the shot. It's not like, is she shooting it? No, I'm coming directly at you. The bullet is aimed towards you. And instead of you being like, let me dodge, I got a woman. You know what I mean? It's just something about men that you all feel like it's cowering to the opportunity that exists. And you all don't want to cower. So you just stand there with your chest out, shoot me. And it makes it really difficult for us women who want to be in the relationship that we're in with you, because no woman wants to worry about what her man is doing every time he walks out the door. That's not the relationship that I want. I don't think anybody wants that relationship. But a lot of times that's the relationship they're in. And it makes it difficult at this juncture to find somebody who is like-minded, who is equally yoked, who wants the same thing, who wants to Netflix and chill with me and only me, and wants to see the world with me and only me. And while you're out, you know, literally, like I said, you just out here pimping in the streets. It just, and I'm thinking that the only crip walking, the only thing that it is that feeling of you're missing out. It's like the fear of missing out on this opportunity. This is right here. It's Poonanny. It looks good. Our Poonanny ain't good Poonanny. And it ain't even your Poonanny.
And fuck mentality.
Your Poonanny is at home.
It's actually unhealthy. I mean, it's just, you know.
So
Even if you're wearing condoms, because
it's still
it's so unhealthy.
kissing, all of it. You can't just be out here willy nilly, right?
At this stage, I definitely, subscribe to the theory that, there's a part of life where you just wild. And, okay, you do that. I don't think that it should be at this age. I think at this age, and at least for me, I'm at a point where I'm just not really feeling the streets like that. I'm not feeling action. I'm not feeling, and now as I get older, I forget more stuff. So I don't know that your favorite color is pink. I forget that you don't eat this, and this, and it's too much work to invest in multiple people for me.
Ian, can you get that one that says reconnect?
No, it says no. Finish?
No. Okay.
There we
It's
go.
back.
Yeah, I think that was
Alright.
So, I'll speak to my experience. It's just tiring. It's work, and so that more so than anything else is my motivating factor.
for.
Just want to be with one person,
Because Paul should not be a pimp.
and
I don't think so.
I don't ever want to be. And growing up, I had an uncle that every woman that he was around, he
Was fair game.
and he would talk to him like that. And I mean, he had some great successes too, but I didn't want to be him. I don't want to be him.
Right.
And it's just it's work. It's tiring, and I mean, you all know
I need to bring that one closer.
I got a lot of stuff going on, so I don't have time to dedicate the energy and go through the emotional highs and the lows. I just don't. I cannot do it. I cannot function properly. I cannot do those things. But I understand why people, when given that opportunity, especially if they've been denied in the past,
Yeah.
they take that opportunity. I don't begrudge them. If they ask me, I would tell them not to. But, hey, what you do is your business.
It is their business, but I think if you are going to involve other people in this shenanigans of a life, then you should let it be their business and let them make a conscious decision whether they want to entertain a pimp, a fuck boy, a old grandpa fuck boy. I don't even think that.
Because some women would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because some women are, on their own.
But at least let them know
Yeah.
this is where I am.
take
I don't
away
want to
their-
commit.
That's exactly.
I'm looking for, a warm body, 3 of them that I could rotate through the week.
Right.
But see, for me, it's problematic being a friend to that person because being in a committed relationship, I don't want to bring some dude around that's always bringing different chicks. And
It's not
because
a good
then
look. Yeah.
my girl is, like, oh, well, what y'all doing when I'm not
Right.
here?
Birds
Or,
of a feather and wondering what
right.
you're doing. Right.
Right, well, I just been lucky. It's always been my day when he was here. It ain't. But what about when it ain't my day? What's
And does his, whole on Monday bring her friends, and then you just think.
Or she might be looking to upgrade or downgrade, as the case may be. And so, now I, because my girl is watching, whatever the flavor of the day is. Like, hey, she was looking at you. Why she get you some cake? Because I needed it. But
So my question would be at this point, how much ass does a man really need at this age? I mean, like, how much?
You mean from one person or from different people? Like, does he need?
Yeah, how many? Like, how many
partners?
flavors do you really need? You, at this age, listen. Some of y'all probably going, like y'all was when you're 20, but most of y'all probably aren't. So my question is, how much can you even handle anyway? Like what, why are you doing this? What is it serving you? It's got to be a place of insecurity. I'm just saying. That's how I feel.
I'm not gonna say that. I think I will say this, that people operate in the spaces that they feel most comfortable. So whatever is allowing someone to feel more comfortable, better about themselves, they're going to do those things. I think that everybody should evolve to a point, men and women, to where you're like, man, I'm done pretty much what I'm gonna do.
Right.
It's time to, to have special moments with somebody special.
Absolutely. Stop kicking the tires and just get in the car.
And what you learn is, if you are in that situation where you've had different people, everybody got problems. There's nothing good out here. You're gonna have to take this
Nothing
lump
perfect.
of clay
There are good people, but
and shape
no one's
it.
perfect. Right.
And it's red clay, it's
Right.
gray clay, it's clay, it's all of this different clay. You got to figure out what you want to work with and what you're willing to tolerate.
I totally agree.
Just be transparent, because you starting the conversation to talk to me, oh, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for my person, I'm looking for you're it, you're everything I've been looking for. But then we start to talk and you real evasive about your day. It's only so much of that the woman is gonna be like, all right, deuces. Well, some women. apparently,
You're right.
apparently,
You're right.
some of you all would just be like, sure, it's fine.
Yeah.
But part of the problem too is that Chicago is a big city, but it's small. So when you are operating in that space, there's some commingling, if you will, and that's stress, that's problems, that's all of these different things. If you the first person to meet the new girl from out of town or from, Wakanda, or or something like that, then yeah, okay, that you can live, you can exist in that space. But at some point, it just becomes hard to juggle because everybody is somebody's cousin, somebody's friend, somebody's ex coworker,
Somebody's ex.
I was
somebody
going to say somebody's
ex. Yeah.
Right.
So at some
Right.
point, those things kind of run into each other,
Right.
and that's just, I mean, it's work.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
a relationship is work, though.
But
So, I mean,
but it's
how do you
it's
get?
even more work when you are operating in different spaces. I mean, I know my girl don't eat seafood. I remember that. That's it. She's not gonna, she's gonna meet Jesus if she does. But when you have multiple people or different people all the time, I forget, and I've told you all the story about how I got large on the girl. It's
Yes.
like, you saw this movie with me. Don't be lying to me, girl. And you can't. It's I'm retired.
You
You
put
retired fuckboy?
it,
No, I'm not going to use that term, but I mean, I think that I found out what's important to me, and I'm not.
You're not going to use that term?
the streets ain't it.
Yeah, I mean that's not that's
I don't
not.
think he's saying he was a fuckboy, so he can't retire for something.
Right,
That he,
yeah,
that he-
I know.
But I'm retired from chasing. I'm retired from putting more energy into something than something is actually worth. I'm not putting, $10,000 rims on a $4,000 car. I've done that. It's not happening anymore.
That I mean makes complete sense. I just would like for the rest of the world to
I think
agree with you
I
and
think
behave like that.
I think that there's hope. I mean, you've had the benefit of knowing me for a a lot of years. I mean, 40 plus. And I think that within that, I think that there were probably times when, in your heart of hearts, if you tell the truth, you would be like, "Oh no, gee, you a lost cause." I'm gonna pray about it. And I evolved, and I think that if I can evolve, anybody can.
You gotta want to though.
I think that all people do. The problem
You
is
think
that
that all people want to or do?
I think that all people evolve, but I think that sometimes it's just as they're lowering the casket. That's a little too late for most people's
At
purposes.
their last rites. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm evolved.
Or when they get to
Yeah.
heaven and it's a negotiation.
Yeah. Well, then they didn't evolve. Honestly, they
But
lived this life and they were who they were until they weren't. So
I think that there's hope. I think that
there's always hope.
I think that there's a larger percentage of people that will get there. And you're going to get there a number of different ways. I think that you're going to get there in the sense that, man, it's tiring me. You get there in the sense that, you somebody shows you something that you're like, man, I need to invest in
But
this.
at least you have retired and you still can travel and you still can do things. These dudes who may get there right before their deathbed, they're not even healthy. Like, what we want with them at that point? Oh, I'm ready to settle down. Can you get my walker? That's not fun.
but
That doesn't even seem right. That seems
but
unfair.
but again, Janae, if we
Do you not agree?
Janae, if you and I were having
Hospice wives, that falls into that, yes.
But Janae, if you and I were having this conversation, say 39 years ago, you wouldn't have thought that I would get to this point. I mean, if you're honest.
So let me ask you this, Gary, because you keep saying how you've evolved and how you've evolved and you've gotten to this point, but you wouldn't classify it as a fuckboy. So that's, to me, it sounds like the old analogy of I don't like salad, but I do like lettuce, I like tomato, I like cucumber, and I like green pepper, all in a bowl. Which is basically saying I like salad. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you're just putting a different verbiage on. You're putting a different word on it. So, because fuckboy, it is derogatory, and it is not really from our generation, from Generation X.
Mm-hmm.
It is from Gen Z and the millennials. They coined that. So that is not something you probably feel comfortable in saying that you went through that because it wasn't a term that you grew up on. But that's what it sounds like.
The behavior.
The behavior that you experience.
Juggling.
Which I'm not saying, I'm not judging.
Not being
I'm
transparent.
I'm not saying it's bad because I don't think that I not saying, maybe I don't know because I have a young son, but I just think that 20-year-old and between 16 or 25 or 30, I think they're all supposed to be sowing their oats and trying to figure out what it is they want. Green lights, red lights, and what makes them tick. And I think everybody should be trying to figure out what it is that they should want.
Blessed is he that knows.
Yes. So I'm saying that it sounds like you did have fuckboy energy back in the day, but I think you almost were supposed to. I'm thinking that this topic now, where we are now, you are not supposed to. Like, it does not fit. When are men going to realize, like, okay, your fuckboy days should be, you should have been done with that a decade ago. You should be settling down. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to be, looking for a wife because, everybody is not husband material, just like all women are not wife material.
100%.
So I'm not putting that the wedding vows on anybody because as a person who was married damn near 3 decades, I know that everybody is not ready for that. It is a lot of work. So the point is, the whole fuckboy energy and the mentality of just being disrespectful to women, being manipulative and lying and deceptive. Like, just if you don't want to be with one person, just at what point do you just say, you know what, this isn't working for me, and I don't want to. We probably should just be friends. Maybe we misread energy. Maybe we're not supposed to have a romantic relationship. Maybe we're supposed to be just only friends, or maybe even business partners. Because I like the way you think about certain things. So maybe let's try to team up and make some money. Maybe that's it. But this whole energy of I'm still trying to bang 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 every big ass I see. Grow up. Your girlfriend or your sister leaves town, and you're still trying to sneak a bitch through the back door, and or you're
You hit the girl at Popeyes.
Okay, and that at Popeyes, like it's just like, at what point do people say, you know what, this isn't working? And actually, somebody who I know who's a very high position at the Department of Aging said,
I have a question though about what do you mean by
let me finish this before I forget, because I know I'm gonna forget. Said that statistically, the people who are in nursing homes and who don't get the visitors are black men, and that is because they have spent their lives, like their families don't come visit them. Some of them don't even have families. Many of them are not even married because they spent their whole lives thinking it was cool to mess around and try to
Run
be
through
with
women.
run through all these women, and now they have no one. No one comes to see them. So, I'm not saying that it's all men, and I keep reiterating that because I don't want anyone to think that I think that all 50-year-old men or black men are gonna die alone or anything like that. But I think that it is worth having a conversation. Like I think men in general should have a conversation with themselves about how they approach women and their mentality. What are you gonna say?
My question is, when you said, when are they going to say this isn't working? Like
The whole their approach to women in dating and being deceptive and manipulative. This isn't working for me.
So, to me, in my mind, the fuck boy was never trying to be in this relationship and this isn't working. He was literally just trying to. He should just be transparent and say, I don't want to be in a relationship and tied down.
I agree.
So, like, it's not working. To me, I'm like, I'm thinking more like, hey, I meet you. You look good. We grown. Let's do what grown folks do horizontally. And let's leave it like that. Instead of being like, oh, I want to, get to know you and take you out, make you my woman and all that. Like, that's bullshit.
I think we're saying the same things. It's a mentality that does not work, and it actually is sexually unhealthy, and it creates drama.
But one more question to your point. Being in a elderly facility, probably 5 days out of 7, you're 1,000% right about who comes to visit who. I have literally seen one family come like twice this year to come see the guy who's on the same floor as my grandmother. Men don't get visitors like that. Now, I'm not saying all of them don't, because maybe some of them had families and they were a family man and this is what they decided to do with them. But these men that I see do not get the same attention as the women.
I want to share something. I mean, you talk about being transparent in your communication. This is the time to do it. Because, I mean, women are so much more accepting of things. Things that you had to lie. You don't have to sell a dream.
You do not.
There is an audience for whatever your BS is. There's an audience that loves it.
I agree.
And so it makes things easier. And it makes your life less stressful. And I think that's why women get those 3 extra years, because they're not carrying around all that stress. They're like...
Just three extra years.
Yeah, y'all live to be at 75. We live at 72 or 68 and 71. It's 3 years.
Single women, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, life expectancy.
Life expectancy
okay.
is women live longer than men, and so I think that we do a lot of as men, the species, we do a lot of different stuff that that's not to have that stress. It's not healthy, especially if you're carrying it around.
The stress of juggling women,
trying to remember, trying to act as though you're this and you're not.
lying,
And
cheating.
it creates just a drama,
a chaos
lifestyle of
life.
drama and chaos. It does. And it's just, we have, and I'm sure you have too, been to social events where you have groups of people who are, have this, who are at odds because of some guy, and it's some type of triangulation with 2 women and a guy. It's just like, oh my gosh, like what? You guys aren't speaking because these 2 women liked him and somebody slept. Oh my. When does that end? Like that was so like 1980s and.
I mean, we're all talking about our views on it, and I think that there's a segment of the population that loves the drama. They love that. They have to have a reason to hate somebody. They have to, something. Because I've seen people hate people because I've seen a woman hate another woman because she thought that her man liked it. He didn't even do anything.
Yeah. Again, a place of insecurity. And triangulation is going to always exist, because it doesn't matter if we've been divorced for 12 years. I may hate everybody that you like from this point on. You know what I mean? So we could be in the same room and I might be an asshole to this new person and I haven't been with this person in decades. So triangulation you're never going to get rid of it, but your participation in it needs to be something that you should be able to control. There needs to be some sort of sexual discipline by men so that they aren't trying to bang every fat ass that walks by.
Women need to stop giving it up so freely.
I agree.
Which is what she said in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
She thinks that we
created this.
Or at least we fertilize the soil.
We've definitely.
I mean, you used to have game to have women.
You don't.
You
And
don't even have to be good looking.
You don't. You don't need nothing.
What
You could
say,
be
a
like,
bitch?
you could be like home on parole, and you ain't got nothing. The feds took everything, and you got 5, 6. I want to do this.
You could be a brokey. You could be a. Yeah.
Any number of maladies could be existing in
For
your
sure.
life, and you still have 3 or 4, quality women
Knock, knock, knock.
that are like, I want to braid your hair. He's 60. Why are you braiding his hair? Stop it.
He's bald. What are you talking about? I'll wait for the hair to grow.
I'm gonna braid his mustache.
I wanted to bring you dinner and wash your clothes.
So
Yeah.
I'll co-sign for
There's nothing
that
wrong with
building.
washing clothes. That's,
Don't hate, right?
my nerd activity.
No, but
she knows I like to wash clothes. So
you all beg the question: when does it end? I mean, it's for men. It's
You already know what I'm thinking.
yeah,
it's when they're ready, and they have to get to that point, and it can be a destination. It can be a marathon. It can be a sprint. But I do believe, I want to preach the hope gospel. I do believe that there's a part of it where all men get to that point. Unfortunately, sometimes it's kind of as they're throwing the dirt.
Right.
But,
Right.
For the most part, I think that, a lot of men get to the point where they just realize, or either they get beat down by the system, they suffer so much doing all of these things that they realize that what they're getting out of it is not worth what they're putting into it. Or, man, love happens. They actually meet that person that just pushes all of the right buttons.
And I'm cool again with the man that wants to be a fuckboy transparently, because you could just be, I'm a hoe, you could be that dude.
what song was that?
And I 3 different hoes
Like
after
for
every
every
show,
show.
right? You could be him as long as all the hoes
Oh,
know.
yeah, that's right.
As long as all the hoes know, do your thing. It's just when you are trying to bamboozle, hoodwink, and lead somebody astray, that's not cool.
I can definitely agree with you. There's no place at any point where you should be selling people dreams.
No.
Right.
The dream store is closed.
Because that's clown behavior to me.
Right. I agree.
And it's unnecessary. There are times when you.
It is unnecessary. You're grown. Why are you lying?
It's somebody that'll eat that up. That's like, oh, I'm number 3.
And some women don't want a serious relationship. They just want a sexual relationship. So if you say, "Hey, this is you know what this is. This is this is it's just this."
I see you on Wednesday.
Exactly. And some women are cool with that.
But and I'll say this part. That can be a little off-putting sometimes. You have to be in a mental space as a man to be able to deal with that.
Because that fuckboy may only want the one that wants the relationship. He wants the one that thinks like I'm a king and not I'm just a piece of meat.
Or he may be in that cycle where, all his friends are getting married, are married, so he feel like, what, let me go and try this. And then, you meet somebody, hey, and she's like, Wednesdays and Sundays between 6:37 and 7:42. That's it.
Yeah, but the double standard of wanting to have a relationship, wanting to have a wife, wanting to have a person, and then, on the weekends you want everybody. You should not,
That's-
at this age, again, you should not be thinking it's okay to lie and hurt somebody potentially in the end.
I think we're all saying that.
Like,
I don't think that any
again,
of us has.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same things, just differently. But I think we're saying
Yeah.
the same thing.
For sure. None of us agree with that behavior, but yeah. I done said it. I think it's clown behavior.
Carlos.
And that there should be a level of transparency. So, but at any rate,
Yeah.
In all things that you do.
that's true.
So, the
What do
fuck
you-
boys out there.
What do you guys think?
I want to know.
And you don't have to reveal, all your dirt and your your dirty laundry.
Your skeletons.
But please tell us what your thoughts are on this topic. Drop your comments in the comment section on whatever platform you're viewing us, and let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. Let us know how this is working out for you. Have you been busted in this triangle situation? Have you been accosted? Have you been, I don't know.
Or have you
Have
been
you
a
been
victim?
adjacent? Yeah,
have you
have
been a victim?
Or
of
have
this
you been
fuckboy?
adjacent? Did you
Adjacent?
adjacent? It's happening to a friend. It's happening to
Oh,
a relative.
right,
It's happening
right.
to your coworker.
Right.
Because I think that there's, that level of connectivity where, nah, they didn't get me, but they got your sister though.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely, we are looking forward to reading these comments. We are definitely, I can't wait. I want to go through them as soon as we can sign off.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next week.
And we will be here next week. So y'all be here too.
Tuesday,
All right.
8:30.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, people.
Good night, sweetheart.
Well, it's time to go.
Good.
I'm
Good
gonna let you
night,
go.
sweetheart. Good night.
Right. No.